Hey, hello everybody, I'm Mike G,
Johnny Blaze.
Nathan Knights.
and this is another episode of
Funny Bros, Inc.
Now today is September 10th. By the time this video will be uploaded, it'll be September 11th. This video will pays tribute to those that died 15 years ago on September 11th, 2001. We're basically going to talk about what happened that day, what we remember as kids, and what has transpired over the last 15 years as we have grown up to study more about what happened that day. And I'm going to start off. First thing I remember about 9/11 was at least 4 to 5 days after the attacks, when me and my grandparents went to a local store, and I happened to see a U.S. Times magazine with a picture of two tall buildings with a plane flying into it. Looking back on it now, it was a book about what happened and that the United States came under attack by an Islamic group called Al-Qaeda and under the leadership of Osama bin Laden. What I think about it, it was a very dark day of evil, but it also showed that under dark times that people can still come together and treat each other with respect, love, and care, regardless of race, color, religion, ethnic backgrounds. That's probably one thing I remember most about it and still learn about it today. And you guys can start saying something.
Well, I have nothing to say, but I'm going to go from my memories. What I remember, I was just a wee little guy, and I was in my room playing when this boom shook our house. I ran out into the living room saying, Mom, it's an earthquake. What I didn't know, it was just a ripple effect from the sonic booms of the plane before it hit the collision or collided with the towers. And then I saw it maybe 2-3 days later across the news. U.S. attacked, Trade Center destroyed. And it wasn't until after that Mike even, started showing me some stuff. Because I was amazed that at the time I thought the world would be a cool place, nice place, and then it opened my eyes. There's a degree of violence out there that I can't even imagine. People are still cold to one another for silly things, really, in my mind.
Still is.
But I have nothing else to say, so John, you got something?
Well, what I'm going to say is I don't really know much about it. I was only told by my mother. I didn't know what was going on. I was small. I think it was about...
You were 4 years younger than me,
Yeah,
and I was 7 at the time.
Again, I didn't know what was going on. I asked my mom, and she told me, and now I realize how much it changed. What actually happened that day.
But I think what changed from there was it changed our military, and it changed some people's views on other countries. Things started getting more tense, things started getting more negative to other people, and it just, in my mind, I was just like, why is this happening? This shouldn't be the way things are.
The thought of the United States being attacked on its own American soil was not even thought of at the time, because when you think of military superpower, you think of the United States as being the all-time leadership in military advances and weapons. These people that attacked us took us completely by surprise. One thing I learned from the attacks is that the Al-Qaeda members that took part were in the United States years beforehand, before the events took place. Most of them even took flight training schools to become pilots to fly those planes into those buildings. That's one thing that really scares us, because now, in the current day, we have ISIS that's currently threatening to take lives and have unfortunately have taken part in many terrorist attacks this year, regarding to the Paris attacks, the Benghazi attacks, and the so-called individual that took the life of 50 people in the Florida bar not too few months ago, claim himself to ISIS. So terrorism is still part of the world even 15 years later.
Oh well, good thing is though, ISIS is actually getting chopped down bits by bits, so they're not going to be around as long.
Theoretically speaking, I mean, it's unconfirmed, right, John?
No, it is.
Is it confirmed now?
Yeah, they're
Because last night you were telling us it was unconfirmed as of yet.
as of yet, but I researched it and I was correct. It is confirmed. As you know,
Okay.
militaries keep attacking like us and maybe Egypt. I'm not sure.
I'm not the military news advisor. He is.
Iraq got him not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
If we can start working hand in hand with one another, we won't have as many terrorist attacks. In fact, I think if we try, eventually one day we'll have a combined military.
Russia.
Hey, I'm just saying, we could have a combined military with the rest of the world, which could especially lead to advancements further in sciences.
Oh, dangerous that could be?
No, like we could achieve, just nerding out here for a minute, we could actually achieve light speed. Hello? We could possibly even further our space travel because of that. Think of that. If we actually work together instead of fighting each other, we might accomplish something. There are people who agree with me out there. We may sound like
Idiots.
we may sound unpatriotic. We're just saying what we think, what we believe. If people don't like that, that's on you. I don't want a bunch of rude comments on this video because of my sayings. I'm just speaking in terms of those who have either said this already or won't say it because they're too afraid of what others will say. I want world peace. I don't want us fighting one another over stupid stuff. I can understand, religious desecrations and stuff like that. I understand stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
That's understandable. That has happened.
Which, what happened that day was these 19 so-called hijackers thought that they were committing actions to please their Allah, their God,
Yeah,
the Muslim God, Allah.
They were doing what they thought religiously was right. Sometimes religion can blind certain people. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter where you live. Your religion can blind you if you choose to do it.
But they were
Now, I'm
more.
not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying
They were
don't do
more
it.
of your radical Islamic groups like ISIS, Al Qaeda, the Taliban, that think committing violence will please their God or their Allah.
And I'm going to say this now as a Christian myself. Our God wants us to be at peace with each other. He doesn't want me going into a bank with C4 strapped to my chest and blow the whole building to smithereens. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want it. It'd probably be the same thing with other religions. Your primary God doesn't want you to do something stupid. They want you to do one thing to further betterment of mankind. But that's just me.
Yeah, make the world a better place, people. Come on.
Thank you.
Some positives and negatives that have come afterwards, 15 years later. Some positive things that have translated into the United States and the world since 9/11. I think more people realize that patriotism is still a part of this country, and that we still need to recognize those that have served and continue to serve for our country to give us the ultimate thing that we have, and that is freedom to live a life that we have in the United States, thanks to those that take their lives to make ours still free. And
They're doing a good job at it.
and we've taken the steps to stop terrorism or put it to rest in many ways, like the killing of Osama bin Laden nearly 5 years ago, and then the steps to take to stop terrorist groups, not only nationwide but internationally, to stop them before they even begin, to prevent any further attacks and the loss of life that could be of that magnitude, like what happened 15 years ago. But it was just a tribute video that we wanted to do. This is for those that passed away, got taken on September 11th, 2001, to the firefighters, the paramedics, loved ones that lost brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, sons.
Aunts, uncles, grandparents, possibly.
Nothing.
Any of your family members or the man or woman who risked their life to try to save your loved ones. This is dedicated to them. This is our heartfelt thoughts and thing. This is us speaking our minds to the memories of the loved ones that are not with us today.
And it also shows how much we respect and care for those that have loved ones that are no longer here, and the ones that were affected by that day. Because me, John, and Larry, Nathan Knights, thank you. We don't know what people went through on that day, especially with the loved ones that were probably on their phones with their son or their daughter while they were being flown into that building, or what it was like to breathe their last air on top of the World Trade Center.
That would have been scary.
I can't even begin to imagine the passengers' fear. Being held at gunpoint while, a madman's behind the controls of the plane.
They weren't really held at gunpoint.
They were still hostages.
They were hostages, only with box cutters and a fake bomb. They had no intention with ransoming. The only thing they needed to do was just keep the hostages.
They wanted to elicit fear.
They wanted to keep the passengers at bay, so that way the hijacker can fly the plane to its designated target.
Here's a better way. Why don't they just kill themselves instead of everyone else if they want to take on their Allah?
Well, if they want their Allah to be pleased, they can't take their own lives, because then their Allah frowns upon them.
They need to take as many lives.
Now, if you're taking out an enemy soldier's life, then you please Allah. Yes, you may lose your own, but you're taking out someone with you.
Screw Allah. Bye.
Hey, be respectful.
Anyway,
Like I said, it's probably not what he wants. Allah probably does not want his children to sacrifice themselves in a stupid way. It's the same way.
Anyway, this is just a remembrance to those that died and those that were affected by 9/11, and to the servicemen and women who continued to sacrifice for their country to make this land free and make us proud to be part of a great nation of the United States of America. To close off, I'm Mike G.
Nathan Knights.
And this has been another episode of
Funny Bros, Inc.
We'll see you next time. I'm Mike G.
Johnny Blaze.
Nathan Knights.
And this is another episode of
Funny Bros, Inc.
Now this is continuing our little 9/11 tribute. We will be saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So we ask you if you're
And
watching
at the end of it, we'll be singing the Star Spangled Banner. You can't forget the tidbits.
the what
The
bit?
tidbits.
What's the tidbit?
You don't know what tidbits are?
This
The
never
little
on that
juicy
video.
morsels at the end.
Okay,
This is okay. Really?
What? Okay. Anyways, guys, come on.
We're doing the Pledge of Allegiance to continue our 9/11 tribute. And so we ask you, the fans and the viewers, to place your hand over your heart as we say the Pledge of Allegiance in honor of those that passed away on that tragic day, and to honor those that continue to serve, our military men and women, past, present, and who are going to be serving in the future. Place your right hand over your heart.
Hey, take your hats off if you have
And
it.
if you have your hat, take it off.
Take it off. Show a little respect.
And we're going to turn to this flag that we got right behind us, and we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Just like we were in elementary, right, guys?
Yep.
3,
2, 1. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now
The one we've all been waiting
We've been-
for.
we will be
National
singing.
anthem.
And if you are watching, if you care to sing along, please do so.
Feel free. I mean, we're in America after all. Ready?
3,
2, 1.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
we thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Praise God, people. Salute to the fallen soldiers.